Hey friend, welcome back to Ruth and Ruby. I've got some fun projects for you today. We're going to talk about some IOD molds and one of my latest favorite products, Sweet Pickins Milk Paint Oil Wax. Alright you guys, this project has been in my stash forever, and you can see this pink bleed through that I kept getting, so that's why I just put it back away and I got tired of dealing with it. But we're going to fix that today. We're going to use some Dixie Belle Boss, and we're going to get this thing fixed up and out of my stash. So I'm going to give it a good coat of the Dixie Belle Boss like I said, and once that dries, we'll give it another coat of paint and zhuzh it up, and it's going to be awesome. Alright, while we wait for that to dry, I'm going to go ahead and cast my design here. So this mold is called Primitive, and I'm going to dust these little leafy designs here. You see this rim right here? This is the key. So you're going to take your finger, or if you would prefer to use a tool of some sort, you can do that. I like to just use my hands, and I just smooth it right along that micro rim. See there? So I took out just a little bit too much right there, so we can actually just take a little pinch and put that back in there. And again, use that micro rim to your benefit. Okay, so then when you're ready to release, you just flip it over, and don't be afraid to roll your mold backwards. You're not going to break it. It is meant to be flexible. And just let your design fall right out into your hand. So the cornstarch is key to getting your design out easily. Now, if for some reason you're still having trouble, like if you've got a pretty smaller, like a smaller, very intricate design and you're still having trouble, you can pop your molds in the freezer for just a few minutes, and that will cause your clay to harden back up, and then it's gonna pop right out of your mold. Okay, so I'm going in with Burlap by Dixie Belle Paint and my Klingon F30. This is one of my favorite brushes. It is just the perfect size for smaller projects like this. I started with this little artist brush and quickly was like, this ain't getting it. So switched to my F30 and see how it's making quick work of it. So you can see we're getting one coat coverage with this color, and I'm gonna be pretty pleased with how this is turning out so far. I'm giving these a coat of DIY Paint not Apothecary, sorry, Aviary, and I love the way the clay-based paint covers the clay. It's like they just melt right into each other. The clay was starting to curl up on me. You can see the little leaves here starting to curl up, and I do want those to lay flat on my little box. So that's going to help me be able to get those to lay back down. Alright y'all, I'm going to use the typesetting stamp for this next step, but I just wanted to show you, if you are not using the IOD envelopes for stamp storage, you're really missing out, because I had a hard time storing stamps before, and it just felt like they were just messy and stamps would be just everywhere. Uh-oh. Well, that's the one we're using anyways. So I'm going to use the H, and I'm going to roll out a little bit of clay here. Okay. See my little H there? Yeah, this is my second time doing this because I forgot to dust my surface with cornstarch. So here we go. I am taking some clay and gonna roll that out. Then I've got my H. I'm gonna go ahead and dust it too. And then push it in there. And I'm not going to put too much force on my brayer here, just a little bit to get a smooth imprint. Alright, and now we cut. So now we're going to take some Sweet Pickins oil wax and go over the whole thing, but especially that H, and that's going to tone down that super stark white look and give it just a muted cream vintage look. So I've got this cute little sweater pumpkin that we cut out on our laser. So I thought it would be fun to come in and paint it live with y'all. And if you are interested in making one of these, we've got these listed for you on the website, ruthandruby.com. You can buy yours blank, just like this, and then you can paint it however you want to paint it, or you can buy it finished, meaning I will paint it for you. All right, I'm using a cut up car wash sponge dipped in my paint to make quick work of painting this base, and I'm using Dixie Belle burlap, and I end up doing 2 coats on this to get full coverage. Now for the top, I'm going to go with that Sweet Pickins oil wax again, and I'm using the color dark. If you've never used Sweet Pickins oil wax, you really need to try it. Okay, now it's time to put it all together, and I'm using this quick drying CA super glue. I will link this for you down below, and you can get this on Amazon. And so I just fill it up with the glue, and then I just line it up, putting the top part onto the base, and it only takes a few seconds to dry. So I just kind of hold it in place for a couple of seconds, and then I put my clamps around it to just give it some extra stability while it dries. But you could certainly just put a little bit of pressure on it and hold it for, 10 seconds or so while it dries if you don't have clamps. Okay, it's time for finishing touches. So I just took some little pieces of burlap and some orange burlap type ribbon and layered those, and of course twisted it around the center, and I'm just dovetailing the ends. All right, the final finishing touch is the little leafy vine situation here. So I'm painting this in the brand new Dixie Belle color in Weeping Willow, and this looks really, really super light right here. But when this dries, it is definitely more green. It's coming like almost apothecary and DIY paint, and that's not that at all. So when it dries, it does dry a little bit darker, and then I finished it off with a little bit more oil wax on top, and it gave such a beautiful finish. Okay, so I'm going to hot glue my bow on, and I'm going to use that same CA super glue to attach the leaves and vines after I get my bow in place, because I want to tuck it up under there and position it exactly how I want it. So I will do the vines last. I'm going to do the same thing here with the hot glue and the CA super glue, because it'd be hot in Georgia right now, y'all. If I hang this on my door right now, that hot glue very well could melt and my hanger come off. So I'm going to do both glues for some reinforcement. And in future door hangers, we have added holes in this spot right here so that we can put the twine through it, and then we won't have to worry about gluing it on and the potential of it coming off and all of that stuff. Okay, what do y'all think? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think about this. Do you love the colors, or how would you change it up? Would you do a tone on tone and paint both pieces the same color? Let me know. How would you make it? Okay, my next project is this little box, and I really don't know what this was really intended for, but I have an idea to make it a little tea box. So we're gonna, see, it just comes apart just like that. So I'm going to get my price tag off. Okay, I'm going to take some dark oil wax by Sweet Pickins Milk Paint. Of course, you can find this at ruthandruby.com. Because I want to leave this box natural. So I'm going to put that on there and let that sit for just a few minutes, and then I will wipe back the excess. Okay, so then we just wipe back the excess. Oh yes, I love the color this gave. So, for comparison's sake, alright, keeping with that same primitive mold, I'm going to dust this cute little flower in the middle, tap out my excess,